everybody, welcome back to another tutorial. In the mini JoJo bow tutorial, one of my viewers, Maribel, had requested that I show you guys how to make these bubblegum bead necklaces. Let me see if I can bring you guys up just a little bit because you're going to want to see everything. There we go. So today we are going to go over how to make these necklaces. I will link any supplies that I can link in the description box below. Let me move all of these out of the way. As you can see, I've got the beads for my project over here. This tray I actually got at Dollar Tree. It's, for me, it was in the home office school supplies section. And this board came with a beading box that I got and called a Bead Buddy. I had bought mine through AC Moore and they're no longer in business, so I cannot link that below. But apparently there is a website down here, beadbuddy.net, so I assume you can find that there. Couple of basic supplies you are going to need. Just a couple of basic ones. You're going to need a crimping tool. You can find these at Michael's, and I believe you can also get them at some Walmarts. You're going to need wire cutters. You can get a set of 3 jewelry pliers. Here are the other 2. But you can get this set of 3 at Walmart in the jewelry making section. You are also going to need wire. Again, you can buy this at Walmart or Michael's, or you can get it online. I will link the person that I bought this specific color through. It's antique gold. You are also going to need crimping beads, which I will pull 2 out of. You're going to need toggle clasps. These little containers came with the Bead Buddy. So again, I can't link where to get the containers. And you are also going to need spacer beads. You're going to need a lot of them. I won't use this much, but I always end up filling it just in case, because I actually have 2 different color spacer beads. I don't know if you can see. They're 2 different colors, so I'm going to end up picking through and finding the ones that I want to use. So I just end up overfilling it. You are also going to need a pendant of your choice. I took a resin and added a glue-on bail to it. And the color choice is a little weird with this because I am trying to match a bow that has these ribbons in it. So you can see it goes together. And you are going to need beads. These are 20mm acrylic bubblegum beads. I get mine from a seller on Etsy, which I will link below. You can always buy them in bulk through wholesaler websites. But you are going to need quite a few of them. I believe there are 24 or 26 here. When we get to the end, I will let you know for sure, but there's either 24 or 26. To start, you are going to cut a length of wire. By now, I pretty much know how to eyeball it. But you want to have enough to where you can wrap around and then wrap to about here, just so that you know you have enough. You will inevitably have extra, but having extra is better than not having enough. So to start, you're going to take one of these tiny little crimping beads. Very tiny, be careful of them. I'm getting the wire for this prep. This is a 45mm wire. I don't know if I said that previously, and if I didn't, I'm sorry, but it's a 45mm wire. I'm going to get it prepped before we lay out the bead design. So you put the crimper bead on, and then you put one part of the toggle clasp on. Bend the wire over, and you are going to want to feed it back through the crimping bead, like so, and pull it tight up against the toggle. Give it a little bit of room. I don't know if you can see that little bit of a gap, but you're going to want to leave a little bit of a gap so that the toggle has room to move. Otherwise, it's going to snap the wire and you'll lose everything on the necklace. Take your crimper tool and you're going to sandwich the crimping bead into there, into the back first, where it's got the groove that pushes down in the center. Make sure you keep your wires separated when you do this so that you have the crimping bead go through the two wires. As you can see, there's that indent in the middle. That's what you want for step one. Step two, you take that front space, put the bead in it and squeeze. And as you can see, it rounds it off and pinches the wire so that it doesn't go anywhere. Now that we have the wire prepped, we are going to load up our bead design tray with the necklace. I actually took a picture of the design I wanted ahead of time, so I'm going to be referring to it as we go. And I'm going to be using this smaller channel here. It really doesn't matter which channel you use. And you are just going to line up your beads in the pattern that you like. You can play around with this. The great thing about putting it on the design board ahead of time is that you can tweak the design and figure out what you like and what looks good before you commit to putting it on the necklace. And once you have a basic pattern down, it's just repeating that basic pattern over and over. I stop when I hit that 10-inch mark. That's about my standard for every necklace I make. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 26 beads in this necklace. If you add any beads like these, which are called raspberry beads, obviously you'll use less of these bigger beads. But since I'm not going to be using any of those type of beads, I am just using the standard 20mm bubblegum beads. There are 26 here on the board. You're going to pick up the wire that you prepped ahead of time. Hopefully you can see it. And I start by threading not dropping, threading. threading a spacer bead on first. Helps to keep the wire together up here. You can thread an additional one on if you want. I think I'm going to with this one. Sorry if you hear any noise. My husband is in the washer and dryer in the hallway, which is right outside my crafting room. So, and then you just pick up the beads and begin to thread, alternating between the bubblegum beads and a spacer bead. So you pick up a bead, and one of the bubblegum beads, you put it on and you load up a spacer bead on it, and then you pick up another bubblegum bead and another spacer bead. I am going to do this process one more time so you guys can see what I am doing once I get the wire through. I will show you right now. You want to make sure that this does not happen. Make sure that both wires go through the bead so that it hides anything and it doesn't poke out and stab the little one. Excuse me. All right. And again, you pick up a bead, put it on, then a spacer. These are 4mm spacers, by the way. Sorry, really dry throat. All right. Oh, this is what you have thus far. I am going to pause and do the rest of the beads and then come back once that's all done, because this is going to be a really long video otherwise. So I will be right back.
A few moments later.
All right, I've reached the point where I am going to be putting on the pendant, and I wanted to show that to you really quick before I finished off the rest of the necklace. It is up to you on what you think looks best. I usually put 2 spacer beads, then the pendant, and then 2 more spacer beads before I finish off the necklace if the pendant is on a bail, just because it usually means it needs a little bit of extra room. So as you can see, there's 2 spacer beads and then the pendant, and then I thread on 2 more spacer beads. So that's what it looks like. Let me pull the wire this way so that's what it looks like. I am going to come back when I get towards the end to show you how to finish this off.
A few moments later.
All right, we are back to finish off this necklace. I did leave 1 bead left to put on, and I grabbed an extra spacer, so we'll just toss that over there. All right. Spacers are on. This is what the necklace looks like, and I am going to show you how to finish it off. Much like we did with starting it off, you're going to thread the spacer on, and then the other part of the toggle And I apologize if you can hear the birds out there. Apparently this is the right time for the birds to be loud in my yard when my window is open because we're in the middle of summer. And you are going to pull till you're almost tight, but you want to stop when you're almost tight so that you can take some of the wire that you've got left and thread it through the beads on the necklace. You want to go down a little bit. Just a couple of beads. Alright. And make sure that's pulled tight, but not too tight, so that the toggle has a chance to move a little bit once we tighten up the crimp bead. And like before, you start off at the second hole where you can see the bumpy that puts that groove in the spacer bead to pinch the wire tight in each channel. And as you can see, right, hopefully it's zooming in. And then you take the front part and pinch so that it tightens it together in a more cylinder shape. Once you have that done, you can come back here using your wire snips and trim off the extra wire. And there you go. You have a finished bubblegum bead necklace. It is ready to be worn or to be sold. It would be really lovely if I had done that right. It's ready to be worn or sold in conjunction with your bows. Let me move my beadboard out of the way and I will show you what I am talking about. I usually sell in sets. So you have the boutique bow, you have the coordinating headbands, and to go along with this, you now have the necklace. So this would be sold as a set on my Facebook group or in my Etsy store, depending on which one I listed in. But it will most likely be in my Facebook group. I have a pinwheel that matches this. Yes, because I did have 2 bow options. So that is the pinwheel that goes along with the set. And there you guys go. It is the finished necklace. I do have a tutorial I will link for the headband and for the pinwheel and for the boutique bow as well. This green bow in the center is actually the top part to a bitty boutique bow. So I will link that tutorial as well in the description box below. But I have taken 2 bows and a headband, and I have made a coordinating necklace to go with it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. As always, if you have questions or comments or tutorial requests, please leave them in the comment section below. Do not forget to like and share this video, If you have not subscribed to this channel and you would like to see more videos like this, please click the subscribe button somewhere down there. And I will see you guys again another tutorial. Bye!